Hello, everybody. I'm Deanne Fitzpatrick, and I have the website hookingrugs.com, and I own Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio. And one of the things I do is I make rugs that I believe are unmistakably art. I write books about it. But the other thing that I do is I make beginner kits with the help of the people who work with me. So I design the kits, and then we put them together in these beautiful little cardboard boxes with a picture of the image. And we have about sometimes we have between 15 and 20 different designs. It's pretty exciting. Then we have larger kits as well. The thing I want to do today is I want to have a video for you that shows you the unboxing of a kit and how to get started. So I'm going to open this kit up. I don't want to tear the box because it's so beautiful. I want to be able to use it again. There we go. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, and in there is a hook. We have this hook and we have a little red hook that we sometimes put in our kits. Whoops. The hook is all hooked into my pattern. There's a pattern. Oh, and look at all this wool. Oh, there's yarn, there's cut wool cloth, and it's all bundled in little bundles. That's it. And then on the back of the kits, oh, in the beginner kits, here we are. We have all the beginner kits on the side. I didn't realize that they were all on the side like that. So that's really great, the beginner kits on the side. So we probably won't, and then we always have a little bit of information about the studio on the back, and then learn how to hook in 5 minutes, and there's free videos, and we always tell you about that. So we're just adding a little extra video. So look what I have here in this pile of wool. Oh, I've got some sparkle. This is really a beautiful kit. I asked Mary yesterday, which one should I do? And she said, Sweet Bay, hands down. So I've just got my hook hooked in here. There we go. And then, oh, there's a little color key, Sweet Bay. It shows you all the colors that and what needs to go. So Cliff is tan and navy. Sky is a mix of blue and white yarn. So I like to use a little hoop to get started on these. Now the hoop doesn't come in the kit, but you can use, we have hoops that range from about $6 to this one is about $30. This one is our higher quality hoop. And there's my design. It's all drawn on, the little DF on the bottom. And I'm going to teach you how to hook rugs now. So you just, should I do that again? Maybe I'll do that again and show you. I take my hoop, I put the bottom on the bottom, and I put the round circle on the bottom, and the one that has this piece goes on the top. So I'll just do that again and show you. Oh, goodness, my microphone fell off. There we go. All right. You want to make sure that you get all your sides caught in there, and you're going to tighten it up here now. Nice and tight, and then pull it. So wait, now I'm going to untighten it a little bit so I can pull it a little tighter. I like it to be good and taut. Should be kind of tight like a drum. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to start with my hook, and you also need a pair of scissors, and most of us have scissors at home, so they're not included in the kit. So I look at my color key, and I see that the sky is a mix of blue and white yarns, but I also really like to reference my picture. So here's my picture. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to start with my sparkly yarn because I see that right in the picture. Right there, and I'm going to do this sort of outer circle in my sparkly yarn. Now, a lot of times I take 2 strands at once when I'm using a nice sparkly yarn like that. It's just pretty. And we usually put lots of yarn in your kit, but or cloth. But if you do happen to run short, just email us at info@hookingrugs.com, and we'll look after you and send a little envelope with a couple of extra strands if you need it. The other thing I want to encourage you is if you want to change your kit or add some yarns from your stash, if you have a knitting stash or something, feel free to do this. Feel free to do that. So there I am. I'm just started hooking, and I didn't even really explain to you what I did I? So let's do that again because I just started so easily. So I take my 2 strands together, and I hold it between my fingers like this. I get the strands nice and even. Sometimes I hook a single strand and sometimes I hook 2 strands. So this is a thinner yarn, so we're going to hook 2 strands. So I'm holding it like this, and then I go underneath. And when I'm underneath, you'll see that I'm right up against the yarn and right up against the burlap. and then I put my hook down and I bring my ends to the surface, and then I go down again. And I don't go in every hole. I just go in every second or every third hole. But this is important. When I pull it up, I catch the side of the yarn. See that? It comes up like that. So I kind of go straight down, I catch the yarn, and I go up. So let's try some. I'm going to finish up with this one, and then let's try some different yarns or maybe a piece of cloth. And I'm just going to go around here. We're not going to do the whole, I'm not going to hook the whole thing for you because that would take too long, I think, but we'll just go around the design. It's so easy. One of the things that's important is not to hold your hook too tight. If you hold your hook too tight, your hands will get just a little cramped up. So let's see, we got some, we need, let's see, let's get a little bit of cloth, a little bit of green cloth. And we'll use that sort of in the hill. And I can see right here where I put it in the hill. So let's put it in again. There's my green cloth. So I'm going down and I'm catching the edge of my cloth like that. And my hand is underneath holding the cloth, right? And then I bring it up like this. And I don't have to follow the picture exactly. The colors will be a little bit different than they are in the picture. But I'm just going to keep hooking this green right over to the edge. I'm going to use it all up. There we go. And then I'm going to go get another green. So I have these two beautiful greens here. Ooh, so I'm going to grab one of those and two of these. Now this is a little bit thicker yarn, so I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to use it up here. And I'm just going to use it as a single. So you see my hook is going straight down, but when it gets down there, it goes on an angle and catches the wool. Maybe we can show you from underneath what's happening here. You can see my two hands are kind of working together. So I love teaching people how to hook rugs because rug hooking has been really good to me. It's a craft that I find very meditative and calming and soothing, and it's brought a lot of joy into my life. And I think it can do that for others. Also, one of the things that it's let me do is it's let me express myself creatively. And once you have your beginner kit and your hook, really, once you have your hook and your frame, all you need is some burlap and some yarn and some cloth that you can cut by hand if you want. And you can draw anything you want on the burlap and hook anything you want. And that to me is, gee, that's such an invitation to be creative and such an easy, simple way to be creative in your life and to express yourself. So now I'm taking these two strands. I'm going to bring some green in here. And I'm just going to add some more green. And you can see that I kind of go a little bit with the shape of the hill. I always kind of think about what I'm hooking and try to go like, you know, to hook it in kind of a landscape format. There we go. Just like that. Now I've got some pink here. I'm going to add some, we've got all these pretty colors right here. So I'm just going to, I see that there's some fleece, kind of a big, thick, fleecy yarn, and that's always kind of fun to work with. So this is a yarn that we call Big Merino, and it's hand-dyed in the studio. A lot of these are hand-dyed, so I'm going to catch that, and that's big and soft and fluffy. It's kind of a greeny blue, and I'm just going along the edge of my rug with that. But I don't want to use the whole thing in one place. So what I'll do is I clip that. And when I clip, I make sure that I always clip on the surface. I don't leave any ends hanging along the back. So if there's an end there, I just make sure it's all clipped off even. All right. So now we need some deep blues for the water. Oh, and I saw this pale pink in there. And I think they want me to put that pale pink in the water. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that pale pink would be great in the sky. So I might change my kit a little bit. And I encourage you to do that if you want to. You can move around your yarns and just have fun with them. So right now I'm going to put my dark blue right across here and create a nice horizon line. And like I said, the colors might not be exactly the same as you would find that are in the picture, but they'll be close. And I want to mix this a little bit, so I'm just going to leave some space there. And I'm just going to show you a little bit about mixing, because there's different blues for the water. So you might want to take another blue here and just fill this in right here. Oh, the phone's ringing. I bet someone's calling to order a kit. Getting excited. All right. Bring this over. So rug hooking is a simple, easy craft. And so I'm going to go down here a little bit, leaving some room to blend in another color. Oops. And then I'm going to show you some common mistakes when you start hooking rugs, so that you can avoid those, because you were a smart one and you came and watched this video, so you learned that there were some little mistakes you could avoid. So you're going to blend your colors like that, and you're going to have a nice looking water. Oh, I love that. There we go. Now I've got a little bit left over, so what I'll do rather than start another color is I'll take the leftover and just go down here. This color would also be great in the sky. Well, you know what? Got a fourth color in here. We've got enough yarn probably to hook 2 kits in this kit. And a lot of people say that in our kits they have lots of leftovers, so that's good. Build your stash with those leftovers. Use them in your next rug. So this water is coming out really nice. It doesn't look exactly like the water in there, but it really looks good. So I think what I want to do now is use more of the royal blue that came in my kit, this one here, so that it looks more like the picture, because I really love that image on the picture. And I just love this hook. It's so good to hook with. Feels really great. We have 2 different studio hooks. But, you know, the hook, the key with the hook is how you hold it in your hands. And you notice that I hold mine like a pencil. Some people hold their hook like this. Some people go like this, you know. But I like to hold mine like a pencil, because I find that that feels very natural to me. Feels just like it did when I was a kid in school using my pencil. So that's enough of the water. I'm going to go up to the sky, and I'm going to show you some very common mistakes that beginner rug hookers make. I'll finish this strip up first, though. You can see I love it, because even though I've got something I want to show you up there, I'm excited and I want to finish this little piece. That's just the way it is for me. Okay, and I hope it's that way for you, because if it's that way for you, then you are a rug hooker for sure. All right, so I'm going to take 1 strand of yarn here, and it's a pale blue. And it's, see, this is a 4-ply yarn. It has 4 strands that blend together. So I'm only going to use 1 strand of that, right? Because it's nice and thick. Now, these are some common mistakes that rug hookers make. They hold their hook really tight. See that? In a grip. And so all the emphasis is on the top, when really you want to hold your hook loosely, and you want to hold this fairly loosely, because you kind of want them to work together. So this is, if I hold this really tight, then all the emphasis is on the top, when really I want equal emphasis on the bottom and the top. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to hold my hook loose, and then I'm going to bring up my end to the surface. That's a common mistake people make, is they go like this, and then they leave their ends on the bottom. You don't want that. You want all your ends to the surface. And then another mistake that people make is they hook in every hole of the burlap. Well, when you do this, what happens is, first of all, you're going to run out of yarn. so that it takes up twice as much yarn. So you don't hook every hole, you hook every second, sometimes even every third hole. You just want to make sure that your surface is covered on the top side. You can see that there's some little empty spots on the back side. That's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. We're not going to be hanging it on this side. We're going to be hanging it on that side. So we don't want, this is called, we call it packing, and you're packing your loops. And the other thing that happens with this is that when your rug is complete, it'll start to curl. It won't lay flat. So you don't want this. You do not want to hook in every hole. You want to hook in every second or every third hole. Trust me, I'm not just trying to save on yarn. I'm trying to help you make a great rug, okay? I really want you to make a great rug. So we do not want that. So I'm going to close up. If you take something out, you can just close up your burlap again. It'll just go back. Open up your burlap again. Open up and close it. That's why it works. There's no knotting or tying because the burlap naturally opens and closes. Now I'm going to show you another mistake that people make. Is you're hooking along and you're going along and you're doing good, and then you go and you pull out your last loop. That is natural. What it is that you haven't quite, if you've ever knit or crocheted, you haven't got your tension right yet. So let's do that again because it's sort of irritating when it happens to you. I'm hooking along. Oh, forgot to bring my end up. There's a common mistake. Bring my end up. I'm not hooking in every hole. I'm not packing my yarn. I'm going every second or every third. And I'm going along so good. And then I pull up this one a little higher than the rest. So what's happening is you're pulling one just a bit too hard and your tension is not even. So you kind of want to pull it at the same deal of strength all the way along. That's really important. Just the same little bit all the way along. Okay? So let's do that again. You're hooking away and you're doing so good and you're being so careful. You're not hooking in every hole. You're doing just like I told you. And then right? That split the yarn. Okay? So that's another, so I'm going to, now I've made two mistakes and I want to talk about them both. So you're hooking along and you pull out your last one like that because you pulled this one a little too hard. That takes practice, and the tension will grow as you grow with your rug hooking. Now I want to show you something else. Over here, we're going to go over here, and we're hooking along and you're doing so good. And then, you split the yarn, right? And you do it again, and you do it right this time. You do it right that time. You split the yarn again. So what you're doing is, instead, when you split the yarn, you're going down and you're catching the yarn underneath the yarn like that. What you want to do is you want to catch the edge of the yarn like this. So it's almost like a little twist underneath that will help you catch the yarn. And I don't want you to worry about getting all your loops perfectly even. You don't need to worry about that. You just want to get your loops, fairly even, loose and soft and even. That's what you want to do. Okay? So we're going to go down now, and we're going to go up. And now we're hooking correctly again. But every once in a while, you'll see I'll split my yarn a little bit, but you can't hardly notice. Oops. So I make the same mistakes you do sometimes, and it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes in rug hooking. And sometimes you can make a mistake, like I split the yarn right here and it pulled it up a little higher, but that's okay, because the very last thing I'm going to do with this rug when it's all hooked, which really takes about, this is about a 2-hour project really, if you were to sit and hook it all at once. But the very last thing I'm going to do with this rug is I'm going to take a wet cloth, say for example a pillowcase or a dishcloth. Usually I like to use a white one so there's no dyes in it. And I'm going to wet it with hot water from the tap. And I'm going to lay it on top of my hooked rug. And I'm going to press it with an iron on both sides. And that is called blocking the mat. And it will really help. Even out your loops. So that's a good thing to know too. So now I'm just kind of hooking away on this, filling in my sky. And I want to hook the right way for a little while because I was showing you so many mistakes. I want to show you that I'm really, actually, like you, I'm going to be quite good at this. I just need to practice. But see, now there's a little split. But I can keep going and you won't even notice it. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. If you make little mistakes, like if you pack too tight for a few, then just loosen up after that. You don't, this is not a, this is, this is not a story of perfection. This is a story of beauty. Okay. And I just want you to make something beautiful. I don't want you to stress over it or to be edgy about it. I just want you to fill in the blank spaces, just like when you were a kid and when you were coloring. It's kind of like painting or coloring with wool. So do you think there's anything else I need to tell people, Angela? Angela's filming this for me, and you can tell them about our Sunday Letters book that Angela designed. And maybe you can show them just a little bit of our studio and then come back to me and just show them some of the rugs on the wall that I think are inspiring. We're just having frames made for some of them in the next few weeks. I'm really liking this hook.
It's the new hook, isn't it?
It's the new hook, yeah.
So if people watch the Thursday live, they will recognize the space.
Because every Thursday we do a live video on our website. So every Thursday at 11 o'clock Atlantic time, we go live and I show what I'm hooking and we talk about the wools in the studio and we just have a bit of fun, really, don't we? And it goes live on all our platforms, but you can always find it. It's always recorded and on hookingrugs.com under lives. They're always there. And the other thing that we do is every week I send out a Sunday letter, and this book is a collection of those letters. But every week we send out a newsletter, and it's usually a little story or a little vignette, because I think when you make art or make craft, there's a lot of philosophy to that, and there's a lot of things that kind of, I don't know, that I relate to life. So you can see I'm changing my rug a little bit. I'm changing the colors because I'm going to finish hooking this now, and I'm going to leave you to hook yours. But I'm filling in my sky here, and I'm just sort of doing whatever I feel like with my colors and just having a good time. So I'm going to put some of this green in here, even though it wasn't that way in the kit. But if you do that, you have to know that whatever was there, you're going to have to use somewhere else. So you balance out your kit that way. So I'm going to leave you to finish your rug. And I think, what do we want to make sure you know? We want to make sure you know that our lives are every Thursday, but you can watch them all week long. You can see them on our website under lives. We want you to know that you can subscribe to our Sunday letters, and we want you to know that rug hooking is a beautiful craft and it's shareable. That with these little beginner kits, you can teach someone how to hook rugs in 5 or 10 minutes. It's an easy craft to learn, and I also really believe that when you share rug hooking and share a craft with someone, like a craft like this with someone, you just never know what they're sharing, because what you're sharing, because sometimes it gives people an opportunity to express themselves. It gives people an opportunity to be more fully themselves, even, and it gives people something to love and something to do. And one of the things I know about rug hooking is that it has a strong community around it, and it sometimes can bring us to community. And if you go on our, we have a Facebook group on Wild with Wool, and you can see everybody posting a Facebook group called Wild with Wool, and you can see everybody posting their rugs there. And we are on YouTube and Instagram, and we're out there, and Pinterest, all of the channels, we are there. So thank you for watching today, and thank you for being part of Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio, and thank you for buying a beginner kit, because I know a lot of you are watching this because you've bought a beginner kit and you want to be able to use it and you want to be able to make it. So I think I've given you a pretty good lesson there, and you can see. I wonder if we should go out to the main studio just for a second. Do you think that would be fun, Angela? Just to show them all our beginner kits? Could we do that?
Sure.
And then before we say goodbye, and I'll finish that later. Ooh, I'm all messy now. That's one thing about rug hooking. If you do get some wool on you, so you might want to use an apron while you're hooking. So this is my studio, and these are all my one-of-a-kind rugs. This is the gallery portion. We have a dye kitchen right here, and one day I just wrote all over my washer and dryer, and I just found it wasn't very pretty, you know, the washer and dryer, and I thought, well, I think I could do something with that would make me enjoy it more. And this is our dye kitchen. Come on through. This is our collection of we carry Briggs and Little yarn, and we do our own colors, and these are our own colors. Come on in through. So there's lots of rugs on the wall. This is the space where we make our kits and draw our patterns. And right here is all our beginner kits. And you can see them right here. Mary's answering the phone. We're just doing a video, Mary, so you know. These are all our beginner kits. And if you look over here right behind Mary, yeah, that's okay. You can see all our little kits on the wall. And that's just some of them. We always have new ones coming out. And then right up here are just some of the other kits that we have in the studio. And then, of course, we have a studio full of yarn and beauty, and just want you to see the place. I'm going to go back down here with my beginner kits. And we're going to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned lots about rug hooking and about Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio. And our website is at hookingrugs.com, and our toll-free number is 1-800-328-7756. See you later. Hi, I wanted to show you my rug. So I was working on Sweet Bay, and it's so sweet. It is Sweet Bay. And there it is. Mine doesn't, it looks a lot like it, but just a little bit different because I made a few changes. I changed around my sky a little bit, but I think it's pretty darn good. And I just love it. So the next thing I'm going to do, you know, is pop it off the frame. And then I'll take my scissors and I'll cut around it. I had lots of wool left over too. I just want to show you that. There's lots of wool in the kits. We try to make sure that there's plenty. So I just cut away about 2 inches. 2 inches, an inch and a half, whatever. This is garbage. What I'll do is I'll just hand sew this down all the way around. You'll fold it over here. Just hand sew it all the way around. But then I'm just going to show you what this will kind of look like. A lot of times when I do these little rugs, I put them in little frames. So I'm just going to pop this in a frame for you. These are our little wooden frames, and we sell these on our website. But I mean, maybe you can make one too if you know someone who can make one for you. But we just pop them in the little frames. And when I put them in the frame, we have a free framing course on our website that you can go on and take. And you just staple gun that inside the frame, and it just pops in there just like that. And it just is a sweet little box frame. So or you can just take it like this and hang it on the wall. But there's my little rug with the pink flowers and the yellow flowers, and I think I did a great job, and I'm really happy with it. So Only other thing you have to think about is just clip off all your ends so that they're even before you press it with a wet cloth. And then your rug is done. I just wanted to show you before I go. See ya.